I just saw you at Reggie's 3 goddamn hours ago. I don't understand.
What is there to fucking understand? What I don't understand is the lax fucking attitude when people are fucking dead.
Look, Tori, we know you didn't murder anyone, but we're having a hard time believing what you're saying.
I'm having a hard time fucking believing it. Okay, but I saw it.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another Christmas episode. Today's a special treat. Well, sort of. Fuck. What the fuck was I thinking on these ones? So we've got 1980s Christmas Evil. You might know it as You Better Watch Out. And then we have the new release of Christmas, Bloody Christmas, about the killer Santa that Trevor really admires because he's a big Doctor Who fan, because he says this is a blatant ripoff of Doctor Who.
Well,
not the Terminator, but it's Doctor Who is where he's going with this one. Yeah, so we're going to do a back-to-back one. We're not going to do 2 podcasts. This can be one long podcast. And we're going to take our time with it. We're going to really dissect these 2 films as much as the production crew and the director and the screenwriters did for these films.
You know what they should have done?
So we'll be done in about 20 minutes. Oh, God. I can't wait till Christmas is over.
Bah humbug.
Oh, my. Fuck me. Welcome to this.
We're here to cheer you up.
Where do we go? Listen, we like to do these horror ones because we talk, a kid's Christmas movie. We'll talk a adult Christmas movie, but we always like to pepper in the horror, Christmas movies, because we talked about it recently with Christmas with the Cranks, where it's become more formula. We understand that it's going to have a message at the end of the film, but there's so many of them being churned out now, you don't get them in the movies anymore, so they're not special films anymore. You can get them on fucking Lifetime, Hallmark, wherever, on the mid-afternoon, so the housewives can check it out or whatever. And the ones that are actually still churning out is the horror ones. The horror ones are a little different. Right now, you got a big hit going on in the cinema. I can't wait to see it. Violent Night. It's supposed to be pretty fun with David Harbour. And this one we're going to be talking about, in a second here, Christmas, Bloody Christmas. And they seem to be quite popular, even over the ones, the ones that come out a dime a dozen. And I don't know why that is, but I'll take it. Don't get me wrong. But if done right. So that leads us to Christmas Evil.
The granddaddy of killer Santa films. Well, maybe not the granddaddy, but an older one anyway.
Yeah, this came out in 1980. When we do these podcasts, we like to kind of research it a bit and give you some fun facts. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I've got shit. I've got a couple of big actors that came out of this film. And that's it. This was directed by Lewis Jackson. He hasn't done anything else. The stars, I did. Was it Brandon Megert?
Like that.
Jeffrey Dumont, who's actually quite a good actor.
Has had a good career.
Yeah. And Stephen King mainly. Yeah. But he's worked on. We know him from the Walking Dead. Obviously very famous for working with Frank Darabont with, I believe, The Majestic and Green Mile.
He was also in the X-Files, the first X-Files film.
Of course he was. Of course he was. Thank you. Of course. He plays the brother. So there's Philip and Harry. These are the 2 main characters. Harry's kind of the loose cannon, and Philip is he's kind of a loose cannon himself. And then the wife, Jackie. Do you see Patricia Richardson's in this? Mm-hmm. She beats the shit out of her kid, and she's the mom in Home Improvement. It's fucking awesome.
And there was also a wee guy in this. He's a character actor. He pops up in loads of things. I first seen him as a kid in The Equalizer. He was Robert McCall's mate in The Equalizer. He's also in Hannibal. He's been in Requiem for a Dream. He seems to be in basically almost every New York set TV series or film. I forget his name. That's the best about it.
Yeah, you talking about the the guy who's kind of running the children's
Yes,
campaign,
and they're having a party.
and he gets into an argument with him. Yeah, he always plays some kind of like a posh doctor
Yeah.
or something, or a shrink.
Well, I've seen him play sort of more, sort of like, sort of on the streets, the main streets of New York type roles, in the likes of The Equalizer and stuff. But yeah, he's just one of the character actors that pops up everywhere.
Yeah. Actually, it's got a couple of them in here. You got to catch them, but there's quite a few careers were taken off with this film. But we mentioned it quite a few times that horror films are the the foundation for an actor's career.
And directors at times as well.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. We get some plus out of this movie. Now let's talk about it here. So it's 1947, Christmas Eve, and we got some. I swear to God, the narrator's drunk.
Yeah.
Thing. It's Christmas.
He's on the mulled
time.
wine.
Yeah, 47. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, so this is the opening doesn't make any sense. The father's playing obviously Santa Claus, and the kid goes down to sneak down, and the mom and dad are having a good time, and he's going down on the mother. By the way, it doesn't even look like he's even hitting the spot.
It's
poorly
it's the
executed.
weirdest. Basically going down. He's basically licking her thigh
Yeah, I know.
in a Santa suit.
Yeah, I guess I would be disturbed if I saw this. This is I don't know, but he goes up to his room, and what is Philip? Is it Philip or I get confused? Is that supposed to be Philip up there in the bedroom with him?
Yes, that's his brother. Yeah.
But he says Billy.
Good point.
Do you know that?
That I just assumed until you said this that it was his brother.
It is his brother, because his brother brings it up in the near the conclusion of the film.
Does he say Billy or Philly?
Oh, maybe he says Philly.
It doesn't matter.
So he just tells him Santa's not
Yes.
real. And this is the boiling point for things to come.
It starts off with him cutting himself with a broken snow globe
Yeah, that made a lot of sense.
with like fucking red sauce as blood.
So he sees his mom and dad having yum time, sort of. Philly, I got me said it, says Santa's not real. He drops the snow globe, cuts himself, and now we're in 1980. So that's the opening. Okay. Now, the director did say that he was going for a Frankenstein feel. I started laughing. I was like, fuck.
He does
me.
at the end.
But when I watched this film, he's not
Yeah.
wrong. Because, yes, the end, you've got the mob mentality, but it's the people that made them.
Yeah, they're the real monsters.
They're the creator. Instead of just the villagers, we got to get the bad guy or the monster. They're the ones who created this monster by being naughty.
Yeah. Well, this is it. Yeah.
That's the mentality of this. That's the movie.
Yeah, and he's basically still a kid, even as an adult. You know what I mean? Now, there's obviously, once we'll go straight away to 1980, there's obviously some quite sort of weird scenes where he's spanning children and stuff, and it sort of suggests, is he a pervert, a paedophile? But he's not, I don't think he is.
I never got that.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, when he's peeping on the orphans
Yes.
or whatever they are, and he sees Sally, I think her name is, and then you got the brats and all. And you see, so he's got a Johnny and Nice book,
right.
and he's writing down who's been naughty and who's been nice.
And wasn't there some, like, one of the boys or something was, like, reading porn mags or something, so he's on the naughty list?
Penthouse, yeah, he picks his nose.
That's right. It's metal.
So fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But the first one is like you meet some of these bad, like Frank Stoller. He's the one who makes him work for him.
The workplace bully.
And yes, and each day it's Thanksgiving now, and so he cancels on his brother to go over the Thanksgiving. His brother's a little concerned. Why aren't you coming over for Thanksgiving? Well, you don't see him then until Christmas. Where were you between Thanksgiving and Christmas? Why don't you go see your brother to make sure he's okay? You fuck. But anyways, he's not a bad character. He's not a bad guy.
Well, I basically got although obviously not done anywhere near as well. I basically got Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver vibes from it. Although obviously not, as I say, not as well realised, but obviously it's set in New York and stuff. It's basically Taxi Driver, but in a Santa suit at Christmas.
I can't believe you're mentioning Taxi Driver.
No, don't get me wrong. It is a very poor imitation of it, but there is a definite vibe there.
Yeah, it does. It does have that, and I can't believe Taxi Driver. Still, fucking hell. So he goes to his brother's. Is this why he cancels Thanksgiving? Because he goes to his brother's and sees him making out with his wife?
The suggestion, I think, is possibly that he has this weird phobia of basically people having sex after catching... He's still a child in his mind, I think. And whenever he's seeing his brother and his brother's wife, making out, it sort of brings him back to seeing his dad as Santa licking his mum's thigh. It's fucking deranged.
I can't believe this is...
And it's weird, this film. And there's certain weirdnesses to it that I do like. We'll talk about it.
So me? Fuck me. That's you, man. This got David Lynch written all over it. So he's... Oh, that's right. He starts walking the houses. And he goes to... This is where we see Patricia Richardson. And he goes to Mark's house. And he covers himself in mud. And then he puts his face and hands to the wall of the house, leaving a mark.
Yeah.
Why did he
I
do
got
that?
the impression that it's some estate where all the houses look the same. And he was just marking the house, for future reference. Although he could have just remembered the street name and the door number. But it's weird.
He could have just put an X in the dirt.
Maybe it's a window
rather
into
than
his derangement. I sort of thought as well, maybe he was with the mud over the face, it was some form of camouflage so he wouldn't be seen. But yeah.
No, that's... So what he's doing, the first act of this film is pretty much him, naughty and nice. We kind of meet some of the characters he's going to give gifts to, and we already know some of the characters who've been naughty, like Mark, like the brother, and the Stoller guy. So that's where the first act is. The second act is him getting the van ready and to go Christmas shop. There's a scene where he takes a bunch of bags and he fills them with dirt. Is that what he's giving the naughty people?
Yeah, that's what I assumed. It's basically, the way, here anyway in the UK, it's if you're sort of, when I was growing up, they said if you were a bad boy, you got cinders in your stocking. I don't know if that was a US thing. So I'm assuming this is the US form of cinders. Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, fuck knows what is really going on here, because it is quite weird and strange and surreal.
But it's because in the States, you get a lump of coal.
Yeah, well, cinders.
In your
a lump of coal. Yeah.
Yeah. So because he goes back to Mark's house because we see the face logo, so that's right. That must be how he marks the house. And then he leaves a bag. I think it's a bag of dirt.
Yes.
I don't know. Fucking hell, I don't know what the fuck we're watching. Jesus Christ. This is just, I'm blaming you.
The best part comes at the end, but we will get there, trust me.
Oh, fuck me. What we got? 15 minutes. Okay, we're doing pretty good. He's breaking into people. Okay, so he's going into people's homes. All right, so we saw the one scene with Mark. So that must have been just one instance. So he must have marked all these houses. We just didn't have to go through it all, thank God. Because he's going into people's houses, and he's giving them the toys from the toy shop he works at. And he's chucking the ones they bought, which are probably better toys. That's right. And then when he goes in and he gives, you don't know what house he's in, but he's in Frank Stoller's house. Yeah. And the kids are out, but they're pretending to sleep. They saw Santa, but it's really him. And he walks into Frank's bedroom with his wife and begins to suffocate him with the toys. Mm-hmm. With his wife, right in the same bed, who never woke up. Then he cuts his throat with the star, of, the Christmas ornament. and chucks him on top of the wife. And the wife says in
But
panic.
before this, he's already sort of bumped those people off. On the steps.
Oh, I don't care. We're going on sinking this one. Fuck it. Yeah. What?
With the eye.
Okay, so he goes to the
Yes.
church, and there's his bosses in the church, but they were just having a Christmas party. But okay, whatever works. And these people come down the stairs. He doesn't know them at all. Why is he killed them?
It's just because he's deranged and seeing. It's never fully. I mean, he doesn't have. From what we gather, what we watched, he has no reason to have a grudge against this people. He has obviously a grudge against Frank, the work colleague who was bullying him. So
yeah, Frank, his boss, the guy you were talking about, the actor guy that we all know, he was going to donate to the kids, but he couldn't give exact numbers. And they were in the church, so I get why you'd go after them.
Yeah.
So his MO is fucked by killing these people.
Yes, it's just a bit random.
All right, so they weren't in another scene that I missed.
Not that I know of.
Oh, fuck.
Maybe there's a director's cut. I don't know.
Oh,
We'll do
God,
that
no.
next.
There can't be. There can't be more of this. Oh, my God. I'm getting fucking lost. Yeah, so he goes to his brother. His brother's having kind of a breakdown because he's not really hearing from his brother, which, again, I don't know why he doesn't go to his house or go to his place of business. Yeah, go, hey, what's up? And the brother strangles him to death, but he thinks he's dead. Drags his body to the van. His wife, is quite calm, by the way, this whole time. Oh, you just strangled your brother to death. That's cool. That's fine. That's how we all work around this neighborhood. Chucks him in the car, and then he wakes up, and this really horrible punch, which knocks out the brother, which wouldn't have. And this is where the townsfolk all come after him. Remember the scene where he's trying to run, or he's trying to run away, and he runs into these kids, and they're saying, "Oh, Santa!" And then the parents show up. It is the most less intense scene
with
ever.
the knife, with the wee girl.
Yeah, with the knife. And the husband goes, "Get away from that Santa. He's a killer." "No, Daddy, give me the knife. Give me the knife." And she ends up giving the knife to Santa, which ends up being the worst fight scene I've ever seen in film history. And he fucks off. And then it just multiplies into a big chase.
Yeah, well, this is the ending of Frankenstein.
Yeah. And then his car flies off the bridge because he's panicking. He loses control. Right. And boom, he should die. But what we get is not that. He flies away into a fucking... He has the magic of Christmas.
His van becomes a sleigh, and he magically flies away in the sky. Can I just say, I fucking love that ending. It is just so crazy and off the wall and bananas. And I have to say, unexpected. But from a more serious point of view, I can sort of see what they were attempting, although it's batshit crazy. It was like, basically, the van really went into the river and he died. But in his mind, it was like a sort of bittersweet ending for him where he became Santa and he flew away in the van.
So it's kind of like our movie The Descent, where she actually does get it at the end, but she's in a dream state where she's with her daughter on her birthday, so that's what she's getting out of it, but we see the worst of it.
Perfect way of comparing it, yeah.
Please, Neil Marshall, I apologize for comparing The Descent to this film. That was not my... it is my intent. But, I think you know what I'm saying here.
Yeah, but basically, it is complete... It's probably the most... I love the ending, I have to say, because it's just so off the wall. I bust into a fit of laughter. It was just like, what did I just watch there? This is insane.
So let me get this straight. So here's the plot. He's a young kid, 1947. Mm-hmm. The dad comes down, brings gifts. He's with the mom. The kids are having a good time. They chuck the fuck upstairs to go to bed. He sneaks down and he sees the mom and dad having yum time. And his brother says, "Santa doesn't exist." Boom, that triggers him. Years later, he works at a toy factory. He's been promoted. He's the boss. he has a naughty or nice list he keeps of the orphan children and other neighbors and people who've treated him poorly. He then decides this is his trigger. He's going to go out on Christmas. He's going to naughty or nice the people on his list. So he either fucking kills them or he gives them, gifts. And at the end, the town folks are after him, and he chucks off over the bridge. He dies, but in his own world, he becomes a slave.
Yes, he becomes Santa.
That's the film, Christmas Evil.
He basically, because, all along, due to his great trauma of finding out that Santa wasn't real, it was his dad, and his dad likes to get down on his mom, which is pretty mild, you know what I mean, to traumatize him so much and turn him into a killer. He basically was, the whole naughty nice list, he basically thought he was Santa, wanted to be Santa. He wanted to recreate the Santa that he thought was real as a child until it was spoiled by his family.
Our next film.
Can I say as well, it's actually... I like a lot of the madness.
Oh my god!
But you know what my biggest issue was with it? It wasn't tense enough. It would have been so much better if there had been more tension. I just didn't. There was no tension for me. I just found it a bit meandering and a bit sort of it was just like there was. I didn't really care much. I didn't feel much sympathy for the character. There's some potential there of making this surrealist madness. It also was the thing as well. I felt that it didn't really know what it wanted to be, whether to be Taxi Driver at Christmas or some surrealist horror film. So it certainly has its sort of its flaws, to say the least. But I felt that there was potential there.
You see, the problem is you can say that about any film.
Yeah.
You can say that a film has
But
potential.
it had flaws, yeah, I suppose.
Any film you see, you can say that. This film had nothing. This is bad. The best thing we got out of it was Jeffrey Dubon. That was the best thing that we got out of this. And Patricia Richardson, who plays a mom on TV, beating the shit out of her kid. That's awesome.
I did like the sort of whenever it does go full on left field with because there's a bit, even at the very start in 1947, there's a part when Santa comes down the chimney. It's a bit magical or something. He appears in a puff of smoke or something. It's done quite surrealistically.
I think you're way reading beyond what they shot. What's a better story than this? It's fucking Silent Night,
Yes.
Deadly Night. As silly as that film is, if you peel the layers, it's about post-traumatic stress syndrome, and
it has a lot of charm to it. Silent Night, Deadly Night, for all the madness.
This could have went that direction. Obviously, this came out before, so this is complete and utter shit.
Well,
this has nothing of value. There's no rewatchability. If I hear the words cult classic out of my mouth, Trevor, I swear to God, I'm going to beat you with this.
I can understand why some people would see it as a cult classic, but I don't personally.
God, yeah.
I don't personally. But I did love that ending. Because just for the sheer insanity of it.
It's a piece of shit. All right, just don't. There's so many better films.
Watch Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Watch Silent Night, Deadly Night. Watch Black Christmas. Jesus, the grandfather of these Christmas films. Wow. I can't believe you're giving this a pass.
I'm not giving it a pass.
You're saying it's your favorite film of all time. You literally just said that it's the greatest movie ever made. It's a Christmas miracle.
I wanted to like it more than I did, let's just say. I think it could have been a lot better, so much better than it was. Yes, and I think the reasons for me, anyway, were the lack of tension, and it's a bit of a mess in tone. I didn't feel any sympathy for the main guy running about in the Santa suit. It was a bit all over the place. Yeah, I wouldn't watch it again.
See, that's the problem. You should have felt sorry for this guy.
I know that.
And you don't. I actually felt more sorry for the brother who was trying to deal with his, he seemed like he had more pain of what he caused.
You could relate to him more.
But, yeah, you can, he understands that he said that comment to his brother, and he feels bad about it. He mentions it to him before he strangles him.
Yeah. He's such a fucking brilliant brother. Not only did he make him turn into this sort of killer Santa monster whenever they were kids by telling them that Santa wasn't real. He also then decided just to sort of round it off by attempting to strangle his brother to death. And then he went on and got a job as a prison warder in the Green Mile.
Oh my God, this is just shit. Yeah, this guy never worked. This guy never worked again.
Yeah.
Neither did the lead actor. But yeah, I'm very unenthusiastic talking about this one. I usually have some good jokes, but I'm just heartbroken. This is just so depressing that they still make that this movie.
It is quite a depressing film, actually. To watch.
Oh my God! See, now you're giving it more kudos.
No, that's not kudos. That's not a. It actually. It is no, not. I'm not. It's not a compliment. I mean, it's like. It's just. It's not an enjoyable watch like, say, Silent Night, Deadly Night is. Do you know what I mean?
In watching this film, I watched it fucking twice. So watching this fucking thing, I'm more traumatized than what Harry should be. I mean, fuck that, man. This is just whatever. I don't know. Well, the year's now 2022.
Yes.
And we talked about Christmas, Bloody Christmas. I saw this trailer not even like a month or so ago, and I said, Trevor, we have to do it. Killer Robot Santa. What could go wrong?
Everything.
You know what? Yes and no. I've watched this film twice because I like to give movies a second reviewing. You never know what you might miss.
I actually agree with that. That's a fair point.
And so I watched it blindly the first time, and the second time is where I take my notes. That's how I work it, and I'll usually do it. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about Joe Begos. He has done okay. He does smaller budget films. He did one called VFW, which was kind of fun, with Stephen Lang, William Sadler, Fred Williamson, George Wendt. You know, it was about vets taking care of their VFW as people try to break into it. It's not bad. And then Bliss was okay. He's competent, so we know that's going on for him. But what makes a horror film work? And this is so important. We talk about bad acting, where we're going to get it. We're going to get it in slasher films. Lately, it's a lot better, okay? And even the acting in this one, I'm going to still give it a little bit of a pass. I'm going with it. But the one thing slasher or horror films will always get right, and I'll stick by this comment, most of the characters in it, especially the final girl, you're rooting for, and you like them. I hated these two fucking characters with all my being.
I completely agree with you. They were two of the probably the most obnoxious lead characters I've ever seen in a film. They were fucking horrible. I hated them.
Tori and Robbie. The best death is Robbie's because he's out of the picture.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even give a fuck what way he died. I just wanted rid of him.
So the plot in this one, you see the opening where they did these fake Christmas commercials? They try to do those satirical commercials like they did in RoboCop.
Yeah.
Didn't work, by the way. Stupid. Mm-hmm. So what is the point? You've got this, it's called the Robot Santa Plus, and it's available in one toy store.
What?
Can you buy this thing or not?
There was more. My understanding was that there was more of them. Why would the military make robot Santas anyway? What's the point in that? I know they were talking about something to do with the arms program, but if they were
no, I think they were military grade, and they decided to scrap some kind of a project, and they dressed them up as Santa. But who would buy this?
Yeah,
and I was under the impression there's only one of them.
No, I think there was more than one. I think I'm almost certain that's referenced later on, or a couple of times.
What malfunctions it then? It's just a known malfunction? Is this what's going on now? It's all over the nation?
I don't know. It's not explained. There's no. It doesn't say why it malfunctions or the reason why it becomes like a killer Santa. There's no explanation. There's no like military guys trying to cover it up or anything. It's just it's just stupid and it's dumb and it's dumb right.
All right, okay, so we were introduced to Toy and Robbie. Oh my God, for 45 minutes, these people wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Them. And
I have never hated about, you going to eat me out? Oh, you try to sleep with me for like 35 minutes. And then anytime there's a killing, they keep cutting to these fucking assholes. And then when they're done talking at the record store for a fucking hour and a half, they go to the fucking bar and do the exact same thing. It was
like the director who also wrote it, it's basically edgelord nonsense, as it's known, where he was... this felt to me like it was written by a fucking 16-year-old boy who was trying to be edgy and impress his mates. I mean, the amount of fucks and swearing in it was just... I mean, I'm far from a prude, but this...
492,
it was ridiculous. And these... it was like, we're badass, we're edgy. It was like he was trying to be Rob Zombie or Eli Roth or Quentin Tarantino. And I don't rate Rob Zombie or Eli Roth, by the way. I suppose Rob Zombie has done a couple of good films, but I don't really rate Eli Roth. I was trying to be with a bit of Tarantino, even maybe Kevin Smith or whatever, and it just comes across as juvenile, and it's like something like a 16, 17-year-old boy would write. It was ridiculous.
They were trying to do a high fidelity. Meets Terminator, or Empire Records meets Terminator. Oh my God! I was gonna turn it off, and I'm not finishing this. But the second act pulls it together a bit.
Wow.
We'll jump into it. Now they leave the record store. Thank Christ! 30 minutes of them.
It's a weirdest fucking record store as well, because like it sells video like VHS. But I see when I started watching it, hear me. Oh, this is set in the 80s, right? And then there's all this stuff about Lemmy and stuff. And hear me, it's obviously set in the 80s. And then next thing they're talking about Tinder and they whip out their mobile phones. And I what's going on here?
No, I kind of like her store because it's retro store. So that's why she has
but yeah.
I like the store. I think the store is all right. The setup's fine. But they go to their buddies, Jay and Lana's. They own the toy store where the killer robot is.
More obnoxious characters. Yeah.
Oh my God. And they go there for like 10 seconds. Then they leave, and then the robot Santa, I don't know what happened, just comes alive.
Yes, no explanation.
Now, here's the problem with the robot Santa. A, he's not consistently a robot. He moves quite like a human. B, they're not even trying to show his face like he's a robot. It's literally a man in that suit.
It's so obvious, and there's no real effort to make it look like a robot.
Yes. And then the POVs, I felt like I was watching the Blair Witch again. And this is the film's massive downfall. We'll get back to the fucking assholes, Tori and Robbie, at the bar.
Yes.
We're just going to concentrate on these guys getting killed. Which you can hardly see. For some reason, this asshole, this director and this director of photography, for some reason, has this entire film. It's almost like you're shot through a Christmas light.
The greens and the reds.
So there'll be, yes. So when Jay gets it with the axe supposedly cut through his whole body, it's in a red hue. You can't see anything. It's in a haze. So you're told. It's like you're being told the story through a series of Christmas lights.
It's like it's like this guy was trying to be artsy as well.
Yes.
Again, and he fails again.
Why does he do that?
He's trying to be artsy, and he doesn't pull it off. This guy, I hate films like this. I hate it's just he's like trying to be, I'm sort of edgy, and we'll have our characters take drugs, and we're so badass, and it's just it's immature,
I couldn't. I was like, what the? I couldn't. It almost should have a warning for anyone who has epilepsy.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I was like, what the? I can't see. What is this?
Also, it would really have cost them that much to hire more extras, because there's only about 6 people in this entire town.
Yeah.
It's
So after they get killed, we're still in the fucking bar with the assholes.
Dear.
We meet the sheriff, played by Jeff Daniels. Sheriff Monroe. We all talked about Jeff Daniel Phillips just recently. He played Herman Munster
right.
in The Munsters. He was actually all right.
It wasn't bad. Yeah.
Well, he was the only one fucking having any dialogue we understood.
He was better than Sherry Moon Zombie anyway.
Oh yeah, you know, kidding. So we're still back in the bar. Like for another 5. Let's get out of the bar at this point. All right. So we got our first kill. What, about 19 minutes into
something
it?
like that.
I think it is. They decide they're leaving and they go to her house. And her sister's staying with her, which I'm still shocked the sister never woke up with that fucking music going.
Yeah, and they were banging, taking drugs and all that there. I mean, yeah, what's going on here, like?
So,
by the way, the sex scene, for all the so-called, the apparent edginess, it was the stupidest sex scene where they keep their clothes on. It was almost as bad as Christmas Evil, where he's licking her thigh.
And she's like,
And it tried to make her out to be this sort of badass chick, you know, and all this here. Like, it's really going to, oh yeah, she's such a badass chick, you know, and she says something about, you know, that she earns more and she fucks better than all men and stuff, and it just comes across so stupid.
Yeah, so
forced.
when they're having yum yum time, of course we got to cut. He's going down on her, so we got to fucking see that, and at the same time cut to a scene we actually want to see. The owner, the neighbor getting it, but we have to keep going back and forth. So by this fucking idiot doing that, thinking he's being clever, you're just taking us out of the film. Well, this movie is made for people who like slasher films. So why are you cutting away from people getting slaughtered so we can watch these fucking idiots fuck?
Well, they're not even fucking. He's basically containing her with her underwear on, and he's still wearing his jeans. So it's not even like, you know, there's any of that. Anyway, it's just stupid.
Jesus. I mean, when they go back before they hit yum yum time, there's 35 minutes into this.
It's just dry. I think essentially this could have maybe, you know, sort of, I use that word sort of lightly. This maybe could have worked as a short film of about 20 minutes. It feels like an extended short film with a load of completely unnecessary attempts at edgy dialogue. You know,
so when they're making out, whatever they're doing, and the neighbor gets it, you know, the axe in the back, and he crushes his face on the steps. Mm-hmm. That would have been a cool death, but I was fucking blinded by the fucking red neon light.
Yeah.
And then he goes ballsy. He kills a kid.
Yeah.
And he cut away from that one. The kid's killed, but this time Tori sees the kill.
Yes.
From, you know, this is his rear window moment.
Yeah. Oh.
Not comparing Rear Window, trust me. That's a masterpiece. This is a masterpiece of shit.
By the way, see the scene with the kid? I thought that was an attempt at sort of trying to one-up Silent Night, Deadly Night. You know, the scene in Silent Night, Deadly Night with the wee guard where he doesn't kill her. But trust me, Silent Night, Deadly Night is a universe better than this crap.
So they try to build tension when they're hiding. They get the sister and brother up, right? And Robbie's hiding, and you can just hear the footsteps, you know, the clunk, 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 clunk. And they're trying to be quiet and stuff. And he throws the dead body of the kid through the window, Santa, and he busts through, and he ends up killing the sister and the brother. Yeah. Okay? So, horribly, who gives a shit?
More awful characters.
Now, the movie still has flaws. Okay? We're about 50 minutes. Maybe now, I want to say, I don't know where we're at. I'm lost at this point. But they're getting to their car. They're running. This is where the movie turns to a little more competency. The second act of the film, I enjoy.
It's better than the first half.
Yes. Now, we're going to talk about the second half in more detail. It's kind of, I rushed the first half a bit. because the second half is really fun. Sadly, I think the first half's destroyed it at this point. But like I mentioned with Christmas Evil, I watched the film twice, and the second time, okay, so there's something here. So I like the chaos of it. I love the fact that they're trying to drive away. The snow is blinding them. They're panicking. They're going to hit everything that moves, and they do, and they get stuck. The neighbor gets his ass kicked because they hit the neighbor's car, and the neighbor's, the body count starts rising. And it's a decent body count. You're not blinded by everything at this point. You're outside in the snow, which is done well, a little thick, to be honest with you. But everyone's getting, and what I did like about it, the cops are all showing up. It's not, usually with horror films, the cops show up
at the very end. Yeah.
Yeah. So they got that going for them. I like the chaos. I love Robbie's death when he chucks him through the car window. I just got to see him dead. Yeah, agreed. But it was a visual death. You could see it. Now, maybe that was deliberate because the director knew we'd want him dead.
Yeah. I'm just glad to see the back of him.
The cop shows up and he's got the shotgun. He's blowing away the Santa. And obviously there's chaos. She's screaming at him, we got to go, we got to go, we got to go. And he doesn't realize at this point that she knows what this is. Try to explain to him this is not human and so forth.
He thinks he's done the murders.
Well, I don't think he does it at first. Yeah.
But he sort of suspects that she knows more.
Not the black. We're talking about the black cop. The black cop we're talking about first.
Yeah. Yes.
And he gets his head blown off as Santa grabs the gun and, does his thing. It's a nice chaos scene, and she takes the car, and she runs into, the police as they surround her with cars and the ambulance, and they now think she would be guilty because there's blood all over her and stuff, and rightfully so. And I do like that. I like the chaos. Again, we're fucking in the snow. All these blue lights are flashing in my face from the cop cars, and they just shoves you in your face. Again, ruining a potentially really neat scene as the sheriff takes her in. And it's a nice moment of calm because that last 5-10 minutes you had me. You got me outside that fucking house. They're done talking. Robbie is gone, thank Christ. And it's just her. Now, she's pretty good on her own as the final girl.
Well, she's no Shauna McDonald in The Descent.
She's no Shauna McDonald. She's no, of course not. Nobody ever will be. But considering what we got in the first act, she's turned up her A game. She brought a slightly better game in the second act because she does show fear. Because you got to realize the first act, she was an annoying, I'm a badass, I do what I want, blah, blah, blah. But when you throw the shit at her, she's fucking...
I actually thought her acting and was actually pretty decent. It's definitely, at very least, passable. The problem was, like you say, in the first half, the utter shit that she had to fucking say from the script.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. I think I might be blinded by more annoying dialogue, and then you kind of blend that with the acting. So the bad script misleads you to think she's a bad actress. But I don't know. But she's sellable in the second act when the chaos hits. Now, I do like the dialogue in the precinct because right now all the cops are heading toward the crime scene. It's a small town. I buy it. I'm fine with that. And it's just Herman Munster, herself, and the cop who can't stand her, who thinks she's guilty. But there's a nice scene when they're in there and they're talking, like trying to remain calm, trying to calm the situation. I liked it. I thought it was working. And then he goes, "What's that?" And you hear the ambulance coming, and it's coming down in front of the precinct and crashes into one of the couple of cop cars, and it explodes. I like it, building tension a little bit. And then obviously the two cops go out and they get their comeuppance.
You know what the cop station scene reminded me of? When they're sort of basically accusing her and stuff, and it reminded me of Jason Lives.
Oh God, I got a much better film, and I don't think they're thinking of Jason Lives. I think they're thinking of The Hitcher.
Yeah. There's vibes that I haven't seen The Hitcher in quite a few years now. But yes, I remember there is.
We'll
a scene.
definitely begin. We'll definitely
I
get
hope
to
so, yeah.
The Hitcher someday, or Rucker Hauer stuff. But yeah, I had to think it had more of a Hitcher feel, because I think at this point now, the first part of the film played as, like I said, a high fidelity. Kevin Smith was a perfect name drop you put in there. Kevin Smith kind of rom-com.
Clerks type thing.
Little, yeah, and the second act plays more like a, all shit hits the fan. Lyndall Hamilton.
Yes, it's a
kind of
Terminator.
character
It's
she
basically a
turns
complete rip of the Terminator.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna say rip. I mean, you can say that, like I said, about any film. I mean, but yeah, I mean, you can hear the music's even.
Yeah. Of course, the director himself, he'll sort of say it's homage, but there's a fine line between homage and
no. I mean, you can't say movies are ripping off. Everything's been said and done.
I know.
So people are going to copy and paste each other. If it's done well, I'm okay with it. We're still in the gray area, but I'm back into it. So I like the scene where the robot's inside the precinct now, and she's hiding underneath the desk. And there's a nice shot where he's throwing these desks up, especially one where he takes an axe and he hits the desk and he just whips the desk up with the axe. It kind of showed the power of this thing.
Also, that scene actually also reminded me of Jurassic Park. You know the scene where the two kids are hiding under the desk?
Well, I mean, yeah, but
with the Velociraptors?
But this has been done.
Yeah.
You're nitpicking. You know what I mean? This happened in H2O in the lunchroom, so I can,
it's not a new thing.
Citing films. Yeah, it's. But I thought it was done well. I like the fact it showed his power, and she's trying to slowly, load the shotgun without making any noise. It works. I thought it was a pretty good little scene. Too bad the fucking asshole couldn't give this in the beginning.
It is. I agree with you. Like, it is, because the first half is so bad. It put me in bad form, and I hated the film and the characters. Because throughout the first half, and it sort of then ruins the second half for me because of that. And then I was just in sort of bad form, pissed off with it. So it was just like picking holes and saying, this is like Terminator rip-off, this is bullshit, I can't wait till it's over type thing. So yeah, I think if the first half had been much stronger, it would have supported the second half so much more, which is a lot better, let's just say.
Yeah, I like the fact she's got common sense, so she can't shoot him in time or whatever happens. He disarms her. She uses her taser.
Yes,
makes sense. So just to know him a bit, and she takes the ambulance. I think it's a nice little scene where he jumps in the back of the ambulance, and obviously she's going to, the cliche, put the seatbelt on, get him to the front, and then hit the brakes, or crash into something, which is what she does, and then blows him up, which is, obviously, Terminator, all that kind of stuff. Well, any robot film.
Yes.
Then he comes. Now this is where we get. It's no longer an actor. It's a robot man. What was the point of? I know the laser eyes look cool, but they don't do anything. They're not lasers. It doesn't
blow anything up or do any. You know what I mean? It's just at this point. It's just there for the sake of it. It's just like they're throwing everything but the kitchen sink in.
I do like he won't die. She shoves him with the broadsword. He's still alive.
Yep.
She puts the sprinkler on. He's still alive. I mean, and then
I just want it at the end.
I like the fact that she cuts his fingers off. He cuts her fingers off, and then also compound fracture of the ankle. Oh, that's whatever it was. But he's still alive until finally, she electrocutes him, I think, or something.
Yeah. After about 10 false deaths,
I got lost when he finally died. But the second act of this film is far, 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 far competent and superior than the first act.
Yeah.
I mean that's it. And I like to buy my horror films. I always will if I enjoy them. I won't buy this because you've already put me out of it.
It's pointless.
I can't get back in. I can't get back into it when you've given me that horrible first 45, 50 minutes of these two unlikable pricks.
It's pointless. Pointless nonsense.
I wanted a way. So unfortunately, I can appreciate the second act, and I think most people, as a horror fan, will like it because the second act's the last thing in your mind, and you'll go with it. I get that. That's cool, but it's unforgivable how that first act. How it is. It's unforgivable. His directing choices to go with those neon flashes and lights and these obnoxious fucking
He was
characters.
trying to be so, like, sort of, artsy with the colour palette, representing Christmas with the green and the red, but, you know what I mean? It's just not working, mate,
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. I was all excited for Robot Santa.
Yeah.
But then I thought about it. Trevor did say that they stole this from Doctor Who.
Indeed, yes.
And you know what? I'm going to say that's why it's so bad. You're right, Trevor. I
Doctor
apologize.
Who, the Christmas Invasion,
they stole,
is a million times
stole
better
this
than
from
this
Doctor
absolute
Who.
Garbage.
No, I heard it's almost mirror image. So, congratulations, Trevor. You called me out. You're right. This is a Doctor Who episode.
Doctor Who's a million times better than this, but...
Well, it's too bad. I wanted Robot Santa to be a success for me. I was all excited. But sadly, we won't get that. We're going to come back here real soon here. We're going to end Christmas month with Alistair Sim's 1954, I believe, Christmas Carol. Or is it Scrooge? It's called Scrooge.
It's called the Christmas Carol, I think.
It's called the Christmas Carol? I think it's Scrooge.
I mean, maybe sometimes these films have different titles depending on what country, but yeah.
Well, it's black and white, right? That's one we're watching.
Yeah.
We're really up to our... We always like to end with a traditional Christmas classic. And after these last couple of Christmas the Cranks and Christmas Evil, and I blame Trevor for all these.
Not a chance of it. Ciaran picked all of these films. And I picked Christmas Carol.
God, shame on you, Trevor, for picking these. Our listening audience is so disappointed. But like I said, we're going to be taking a little breather after we wrap up Christmas month. But rest assured, we will be back in our Instagram, on our Facebook. Our Instagram is CitizenFrame_podcast, and of course on Facebook, Citizen Frame. Now, during this month off, we will be putting up trailers and movies that's coming out. I kind of been doing that. The new Scream trailer came out. Very excited for it. And I'll tell you what, right now, guys, I put it on our site, and I'll promote the hell out of it. The new Indiana Jones looks fucking amazing. The de-aging looks incredible. And the great thing is the director, James Mangold, who's a brilliant, brilliant director. All I have to say is Copland.
He also did Logan.
And he did Logan, exactly. So he says, believe it or not, there's very minimal CGI in this. A lot of it's practical, a lot of it's matte, but going back to what works. And what I saw in the trailer, guys, and I saw Salah, he's back. I can't wait. So
I'm keeping an open mind.
We're gonna have so we're gonna be doing Indiana Jones retrospective, Mission Impossible retrospective. We keep talking. We're gonna do some like Hammer horror. I think we need to get back into that, more of the old classic horror, maybe Universal Monsters. Just start doing a lot more retrospective because you guys seem to really appreciate and enjoy those. So we might be tackling them. I think it's time we tackle Tarantino. We just got a lot of good stuff coming out there and maybe hit, we'll see. But guys, I say it last couple weeks, our downloads we're up 146%. The hell? I have no idea. But keep in mind, when I say those numbers, our numbers aren't in the millions or the thousands. We're going up, 20 here and 30 there and 40 there. But as we build this little empire of ours, it's steadily climbing. It's not leaving anytime soon, and we do appreciate it, and we do figure it out that it's about longevity with these podcasts. People seem to appreciate if you stick around and you keep, putting 100% into it, and you keep rebuilding it, and you keep tweaking new things. People will stay on and stay with you because these podcasts can be a dime a dozen. So it's nice to have something that's been around for a while like ourselves.
And that's not just us giving our age away either. We really appreciate your support, guys. Thank you.
Exactly. I keep saying spin-off magazine of Phantasmagoria is out.
Yes, the Fantasy Tales special. Yes, well, I mean, basically there's two sort of now series of Phantasmagoria. There's the regular series and the special edition series. So yes, it's the new special edition series is out. Our homage to the classic 1970s, 1980s publication Fantasy Tales. Some big names attached, some massive names attached, and it's available throughout the world from Amazon and also Forbidden Planet International Belfast.
They are. All right, we're going to wrap this one up, and we'll chat soon. And there you go. Have a good one.